Welcome to the 2020 Alberta Book Publishing Awards Gala. And here's the president of the Book Publishers Association of Alberta, Alexander Finbow.
Hello, I'm Alexander Finbow, and it is my honour to be president of the Book Publishers Association of Alberta. Since 1989, the Alberta Book Publishing Awards have recognised and celebrated the exceptional work being done every year by the book publishers of Alberta. COVID-19 has forced the publishing industry to adapt and find creative solutions to allow us to continue bringing outstanding authors and artists' work to readers. So today, we continue the Book Publishing Awards tradition, albeit in a way that utilises technology to unite us online rather than in person. This year, we are recognising work in 13 different categories, along with an award for Lifetime Achievement in Book Publishing and 2 Special Achievement in Publishing awards. We appreciate you being part of this event and elevating the entire industry of book publishing in our province. I would like to acknowledge that I am talking to you from the great bookstore Cafe Books in Canmore, located on the traditional territories of the people of Treaty 7, the Stoney Nakoda. We are grateful to the original caretakers of the land and seek to create a new relationship that is respectful and truthful. Cafe Books is my local bookstore, run by Joy, Charlie and Nina. It's a beautifully curated haven of diverse literature nestled in the heart of our mountain town community. Thank you to Cafe Books for inviting us to film here, as well as to Audreys Books in Edmonton and Shelf Life Books in Calgary for the same. We would like to thank Minister Leela Aheer and Alberta Culture, Multiculturalism and Status of Women for their support of the Alberta publishing industry and all cultural industries in Alberta. Without the cultural industries, our province would be a much less interesting and exciting place. Our host this evening is award-winning journalist and former managing director of CBC Edmonton, Judy Piercy. Judy is now a partner in Pen and Lens Communications and a writer who is working with a local filmmaker on 2 non-fiction books to accompany feature films. Welcome to the wonderful Judy Piercy.
Thank you, Alexander. I'm delighted to be back as your MC. I love celebrating this community's accomplishments with you. And community is not a word I use lightly. Every year, I'm impressed by the resilience and reach of Alberta's book publishers. Every year, I'm moved by your embodiment of Alberta's barn-raising culture, the way you lean into your neighbors and competitors to get the job done. It's a unique quality, and I'm proud to join you to celebrate the thriving Alberta book publishing industry. We thank all of our nominees for showcasing their best work and raising the bar for Alberta publishing. And now I'd like to invite Faye Bohr of Folklore Publishing to present the first award for the Trade Fiction Book of the Year.
The Trade Fiction Book of the Year award is given to a book of fiction published primarily for the trade or bookstore market, which demonstrates innovation of content, high-quality text, and excellence in production. A special thank you goes to Marquis Book Printing for sponsoring this award. The nominees are, for Renegade Arts, First Legion of Utopia by James Davidge. For New S Press, The Inquirer by Jacqueline Dawn. For the University of Calgary Press, The Red Chesterfield by Wayne Arthurson. For Freehand Books, The Student by Carrie Fagan. The jurors were united in deciding on the winner for this category. The design elements, including the well-planned layout and the deckled edging, were particularly effective in grabbing the attention of the jurors, and their interest was maintained throughout by the unique subject matter and the credibility of the story. In addition, this title's media coverage and placements on both the Edmonton and Alberta bestseller lists demonstrate the positive market reception expected of the Trade Fiction Book of the Year. And the winner is the University of Calgary Press, The Red Chesterfield by Wayne Arthurson. Accepting the award is author Wayne Arthurson.
Thank you, Book Publishing Association of Alberta. It's a great honor to win this award. I did a lot of work on this book. I'm quite proud of the book. And even though writing is a solitary effort, book publishing is always a team sport. And there's nothing greater than having a great team behind you, a good offense and a great defense and all that 110% kind of stuff. And part of the team I have to thank is the people at the University of Calgary Press, the staff, Helen, Melina, Allison, Brian, the contractors, Ryan, Zoe, and the wonderful and great series editor, Aretha Van Herk, who took my tiny little novel and accepted it into the Brave and Brilliant series, and then the whole team got together and created this fantastic and wonderful book that I love looking at even now, and I'm so proud to win this award, not just for me, but for the whole team of UFC Press. Thank you very much.
Congratulations to the University of Calgary Press. Next up, we have Neil Petrunia of Frontenac House presenting the award for Trade Nonfiction Book of the Year.
The Trade Nonfiction Book of the Year award is awarded to a book of nonfiction published primarily for the trade or bookstore market. This year's finalists are the University of Calgary Press, Intertwined Histories, Plants and Their Social Context, edited by Jim Ellis. University of Alberta Press, Power Play, Professional Hockey and the Politics of Urban Development by Jay Scherer, David Mills, and Linda Sloan McCulloch. New West Press, South Away by Megan Marie Hakkinen, and the University of Alberta Press, What You Take With You by Therese Greenwood. There were numerous highly qualified submissions in the trade nonfiction category this year, covering a wide variety of subjects, from personal memoir to a particularly well-designed overview of plants and their complex interactions with the rest of the living world. Still, with an attractive design and clear, straightforward writing, the winning title stood out because of its hard-hitting investigative reporting, which worked to make it both informative and interesting. According to one juror, this is the kind of book we need more of. And the winner is University of Alberta Press, Power Play, Professional Hockey and the Politics of Urban Development by Jay Scherer, David Mills, and Linda Sloan McCulloch.
This is incredibly gratifying. Thank you. Power Play tells a very important story about the influence of money in municipal politics and the dedication the public has for its local professional sports teams. Authors Jay Scherer, David Mills, and Linda Sloan McCulloch took tremendous professional and personal risks in relaying this story. And so I accept this for them and for the whole University of Alberta Press team with great gratitude and satisfaction. Thank you.
Congratulations, Doug and the team at University of Alberta Press. Now, to present the Speculative Fiction Book of the Year award, we are joined by Tom Lohr of Brush Education.
The Speculative Fiction Book of the Year award is awarded to a book of fiction with supernatural, fantastical, or futuristic elements published primarily for the trade or bookstore market. The finalists are Freehand Books, Agnes Murderess by Sarah Levitt. Tyche Books, Earth, Giants, Golems, and Gargoyles by Rhonda Parrish. Hades Publications, Edge, A God in Chains by Matthew Hughes. New West Press, The Melting Queen by Bruce Cinnamon. In terms of the graphic rendering, the winning title was brilliant. The deceptively simple style reflects an intentional aesthetic that puts strong emphasis on the narrative and the characters themselves. This made personal their struggle against a supernatural adversary and, perhaps, their own natures. All the elements, design, size, story, worked effectively together, and it will fit right in with other classic Canadian graphic novels, such as Louis Riel, a comic strip biography, or Two Generals, telling the stories of our history and our people. The winner is Freehand Books, Agnes Murderess by Sarah Levitt. Accepting the award are Kelsey Ettard from Freehand Books, along with author Sarah Levitt.
Thank you so much to the Book Publishers Association and the jury for this wonderful award. We're very honored. Agnes Murderess is one of my personal favorites. It's just such a beautiful, chilling, one-of-a-kind gold rush ghost story with such beautiful illustration and storytelling. We're very proud of it and very proud of this award. I'd like to acknowledge editor Barbara Scott, who gave helpful notes early in the book's development, Natalie Olson for her excellent cover design, and Anna Boyer, who saw the book through its final year of production. And of course, thank you especially to the amazing author of the book, Sarah Levitt, who is incredible to work with, so talented and hardworking. And I'd like to invite Sarah to say a few words as well.
I'm so excited to accept this award. It's somewhat unexpected because I spent so many years researching all aspects of BC in the 1800s and London and Scotland. But of course, there is a ghost in the story. And I mentioned that I spent years, and I think who I'd like to thank most right now is just freehand and Kelsey and Anna and Barb for being incredibly patient while I got this book done. And it's an honor to have this award, and I'm really happy about it.
Congratulations to Freehand Books on being the first publisher to win the Speculative Fiction Book of the Year award for a graphic novel. I love graphic novels. Next, we'll present the Robert Croach Award for Poetry.
The Robert Croach Award for Poetry is awarded to a book of poetry published primarily for the trade or bookstore market. Named in honor of Robert Paul Croach, Order of Canada 2004, who is widely recognized as one of Canada's foremost innovative writers who articulated a postmodern, experimental vision of Canadian literature. His 9 novels, which blend myth, magical realism, and postmodern play, are landmarks in Canadian literature. His 14 collections of poetry provide a kind of constant, amused intellectual probing of the everyday. On the shortlist this year are University of Calgary Press, Air Salt, A Trauma Memoir as a Result of the Fall by Ian Kinney. University of Alberta Press, Apostrophes 8, Nothing Is But You and I by E.D. Blodgett. University of Calgary Press, Exhibit by Paul Sitz. Frontenac House, Pressure Cooker Love Bomb by Sharon Paul Ruprai. The shortlisted titles for this category demonstrate the diversity of the genre, featuring a wide range of styles and concepts. However, what distinguished the winning title were the risks it took in its poetic form, which made it both innovative and challenging. Packed with elaborate sensory details that border on the repulsive, the jury found this collection to be strange, hallucinatory, perverse, and truly creative. Confident in its fractures, steadfast in its uncertainty, the winning title exhibits the exceptional qualities deserving of the BPAA's 2020 Robert Croach Award for Poetry. And the award goes to University of Calgary Press for Exhibit by Paul Sitz.
Thank you so much. This truly is a surprise. Repulsive and perverse, I think, are the 2 words that are standing out. I'll take it. So I want to thank the Book Publishers Association of Alberta for the opportunity to be recognized. So with that, I'd like to, at the very top of the list, thank Helen Hanoshsky for her fantastic editorial work to create a beautiful book design. And of course to Aretha Van Herk, who's been such a huge support and who's made this series possible and was excited to have me on board. So thank you, everyone, and it's an honor.
Congratulations to the University of Calgary Press. While we're on the topic of poetry, we'd like to recognize one of the recipients of the Special Achievement in Publishing Awards. Glass Bookshop has made a significant effort to promote poets, as well as all types of authors, artists, and publishers. Please welcome Matt Bowes of New West Press to present Glass Bookshop with the Award for Special Achievement in Publishing.
While the challenges brought by the pandemic have affected everyone in our industry, it has especially laid bare the importance of booksellers in our supply line. We saw Amazon shift to essential goods, and that ebook sales and print books sold through websites are nowhere near what is needed to sustain Alberta publishers and their authors. We're extremely grateful then to see that booksellers have taken it upon themselves to keep people entertained and sane during this crisis. Glass Bookshop has only been operating in Edmonton for a few years now, but its impact on the literary community here has been of paramount importance. Aside from providing shelf and reading spaces for LGBTQ+ authors, and especially debut artists, the store's rapid and effective pivot to home delivery has been a lifeline for both publishers and readers. In addition, their dedication to uplifting marginalized communities continues to be seen through everything they do, and especially through their response to the current Black Lives Matter protests, which included the donation of $1,500 to Shades of Color Community YEG, the Festival of Literary Diversity, and the Bail Project. Ultimately, what I think we'll see come out of this crisis will be a reaffirmation of the importance of community in all senses of the term. I'm very excited to see Glass Bookshop survive and thrive for many years.
Well, thank you so much to everyone for this incredible vote of support and confidence in Glass Bookshop. It means a tremendous amount to us, especially because we are almost brand new. We're little babies, only 2 years old, and to be able to still be here in the midst of a pandemic without having to sacrifice what makes our idea to us so important, which is community. It feels surreal.
Yeah, no, we're so grateful to the BPA for giving us this award. As Jason was saying, so early on in our careers as booksellers, and it feels so special because it does acknowledge that the work that we're trying to do in forming relationships with the community and these incredible book publishers that exist in Alberta, like New West Press, University of Alberta Press, and the Athabasca University Press, to see them kind of acknowledge the work that we're doing and try to form this community with us.
And I'll probably finish off by just saying that it has been, even though we don't have a physical space anymore for people to gather, I think what we've seen in the midst of this pandemic is that Alberta's literary community, made up of publishers and writers and readers, are a real kind of feisty, tenacious bunch who aren't willing to let go of the community that makes being here and writing here and publishing here so special. And so whether or not we're in a physical store or we're just an idea kind of doing deliveries door to door, people have really held on to the central tenet of Glass Bookshop, which is ultimately about making a space where people feel safe and trusted, and people feel supported. And I'm so proud of what we've been able to do so far, and having this vote of confidence from publishers and writers and readers in this province really makes me excited about where we can go from here.
Congratulations to Glass Bookshop. We wish you all the best and are very excited to see where your journey in the Alberta book industry will take you. Now please join me in welcoming Michael Hingston from Hingston & Olson Publishing to present the Children and Young Adult Book of the Year Award.
The Children's and Young Adult Book of the Year Award is awarded to a book published for the children's or young adult market, including fiction, nonfiction, and picture books. Our jurors looked at the creativity, novelty, and quality of the titles submitted. The shortlist for this award is Renegade Arts Entertainment, Duty, Honor, and Is It by Stephen Purawal; Athabasca University Press, The Law is Not for Kids, A Legal Rights Guide for Canadian Children and Teens by Ned Lechich and Marvin A. Zucker; Derville and Uproot Books, Lillian and Kokomis, The Spirit of Dance by Linda Partridge. The concept, writing, design, and production of this engaging work of fiction perfectly suit its messages and audience. It connects with readers on an emotional level, teaching its main character and readers lessons about our shared journey to find healing through a sense of belonging. And the winner of the Children's and Young Adult Book of the Year Award is Derville and Uproot Books, Lillian and Kokomis, The Spirit of Dance by Linda Partridge.
Thank you, Book Publishers of Alberta. I gratefully accept this award for Lillian and Kokomis on behalf of Derville and Uproot Books, myself as publisher, and Raymond Yakalaya, our cherished Indigenous content editor, a magician, really. Author Linda Partridge and illustrator Dave Nicholson, I bet you're listening, and congratulations to you both. It's a wonderful little book. I'd like to congratulate the other titles. Congratulations, you guys, for your nominations. Renegades, Duty, Honor, and Is That, and Athabasca's The Law is Not for Kids. Now the libraries have reopened, thank goodness. I found the books and I read them, and they're great. To all member publisher colleagues, let's support each other's titles. Let's just carry on and do that. We are our own best audience. Thanks so much.
Congratulations to Derville Publications and Uproot Books on your accomplishments for this beautiful children's book. And now please welcome Glenn Rollins of Brush Education to present the Scholarly and Academic Book of the Year.
The Scholarly and Academic Book of the Year Award is awarded to a book published primarily for the post-secondary, postgraduate, or other academic or scholarly markets. Titles are judged on the content and design, as well as promotion and production quality. The nominees are University of Calgary Press, Imperial Standard, Imperial Oil, Exxon, and the Canadian Oil Industry from 1880 by Graham D. Taylor. University of Alberta Press, John Ray, Arctic Explorer. John Ray, edited by William Barr. University of Alberta Press, Power Play, Professional Hockey and the Politics of Urban Development by Jay Shearer, David Mills, and Linda Sloan McCullough. The winning title in the scholarly and academic category had many things going for it, but what really stood out to the jurors was that it is a publication that will stand the test of time and will no doubt find its way into public and university libraries worldwide as a standard source for future researchers of the topic. According to one juror, the book is so well designed and of such importance that it would not have been surprising if it had been published by Cambridge University Press. With that in mind, it is a badge of distinction that the publisher has assembled the resources to produce such a title. The winner is University of Alberta Press, John Ray, Arctic Explorer. John Ray, edited by William Barr. Doug Hildebrand, Director and Publisher, University of Alberta Press, joins us to accept the award.
Amazing. Thank you. I know Bill Barr put years of work into this extraordinary project, and it's wonderful to know that our efforts were able to serve his labors well. This project could not have been accomplished without the contributions of Dr. Stuart Houston and Dr. Bernice Capiston, as well as the staff of the Scott Polar Research Institute. Thank you to all.
Congratulations, University of Alberta Press. Now we invite Canadian artist and award-winning author and City Councillor for Edmonton's Ward 4, Aaron Paquette, to present the Learning Book of the Year Award.
Hello, my name is Aaron Paquette, and it is my pleasure to present the award for Learning Book of the Year. This award goes to a book or instructional package for the K-12, post-secondary, or professional market that has a specific learning, instructional, or professional development focus, and in consideration are SGA Books' Little Women's Lodge Kit by Darlene Auger, Brush Education, Strategies for the MCC QE Part 2, Mastering the Clinical Skills Exam in Canada by Dr. Christopher Nogler, and Brush Education, Stuck, Learn to Love Your Screenplay Again by Josh Miller. And the award goes to Little Women's Lodge Kit by Darlene Auger, published by SGA Books. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. I am Diane Mealy, the president of SGA Books, and I am so thankful for this recognition. The whole book came about in a really serendipitous way. I was traveling to a culture camp with Darlene. She was talking about these books, and I said, well, I'm a publisher. And she went, oh, you're kidding. And I went, yes. And then that was it. And she told me the nature of the material, which is birth and mothering. And I really found that these kinds of books talking about a baby swing that babies are comforted in, a moss bag, the fact that a child picks his or her parents, I really believe it's a foundation for so many of our people who had to attend residential school and missed so much of family and motherhood while they were institutionalized. So it's amazing to receive this award and have this set of books recognized in this province. Hi. Thank you.
Thank you. I am so honored to receive this award. It really means a lot to me because this is the first time that I've written children's books, and I've been wanting to do it for a long time. And the stories have been building in my soul, in my brain for a lot of years. And finally, a few years ago, I just sat down and put pen to paper, and the stories were just flowing out of me. These are teachings that I've been receiving learning since I was a child. And so I really wanted children of the future to receive these teachings. Because of the Indian residential school system, there were 3 generations of children who did not grow up with parents, and so in turn did not learn parenting. And these books provide the foundational spiritual parenting practices and beliefs that we have in our Indigenous way of being and doing. And I'm just so excited to get these teachings out to the next generation as we heal from the traumas of colonization and come back into our Indigenous minds and spirits as a people.
Congratulations, Estia, on this wonderful and important learning package you've put together. Now we're pleased to have Karen LeBlanc, Executive Director of the Book Publishers Association of Alberta, to present another award for Special Achievement in Publishing.
Alberta Views magazine, led by visionary founder and owner Jackie Flanagan, is an Alberta institution, carrying and reflecting Alberta voices, advocating for democracy in our province. Alberta Views has long been a partner with the BPAA through the Read Alberta Books ad campaign that publishes throughout the year. They consciously choose to review Alberta books and to profile BPAA members. Indeed, they're the only Alberta publication to do so. You can't have a community without culture, and we are recognizing Alberta Views' important role in helping us to promote culture throughout Alberta. They have a very skilled team who is always great to work with, and the professionalism and quality of their publication is well known. They have been and continue to be a great partner in our business and our mission of bringing books to Alberta. Thank you for all you've done with Alberta Book Publishers. It is our pleasure to recognize you now.
I'm very honored and completely delighted with this award. And I would like to thank the Book Publishers Association of Alberta. Even before I started the magazine, I was very grateful for the opportunity to have my own work published by an Alberta book publisher. I think that it's a difficult job, and it provides an opportunity for writers in this province to find an audience. It enriches the life of the province so much. So I'm very grateful for what book publishers do. In the magazine, we've always reviewed books, and it's Alberta Views. We want to provide our readers with insights into the province, and what better way to do that than by drawing attention to the writers and the books that are being produced, not only by poets and novelists, but also by researchers and academics. I'm very honored to be recognized in this way, and just pleased to be a partner with the Book Publishers of Alberta.
Congratulations to Alberta Views, and thank you for all you do to contribute to our province's rich culture. Now moving to the last of the book awards, which include those in the design categories, including book cover design, and book illustration. To introduce the finalists and present the award in the category of book cover design, we have Neil Petrunia of Frontenac House.
The cover of a book is meant to capture the reader, to set the stage and give some hint as to what is inside without giving away too much of the story. Author Jace O'Neill once said, "You can't judge a book by its cover, but you can sure sell a bunch of books if you have a good one." He's absolutely right about this. Book cover design is equally as much a part of the book as the words between. An incredible piece of writing can only be celebrated once the book catches the reader's eye. Our nominees this year: New West Press, Arctic Smoke by Randy Nichols-Schroeder, cover design by Michael Verena. New West Press, Echolocation by Karen Hoffman, cover design by Natalie Olson of Kiscut Design. University of Calgary Press, Protest and Democracy, edited by Moises Arce and Roberta Rice, cover design by Melina Cusano. While many of the entries to the book cover design category were impressive, the winner incorporated tricky elements into the design in an appreciable way, allowing it to stand out from the other titles. In particular, the jurors were pleased with the texture and depth of the cover in addition to its legibility and ability to communicate. And the winner is New West Press, Echolocation by Karen Hoffman, cover design by Natalie Olson of Kiscut Design. Matt Bowes, General Manager of New West Press, joins us to accept the award.
Thank you very much to our colleagues for recognizing the design work on display for this book. Natalie Olson has graced these stages, I guess, virtually and in person now for many design awards for our books and for other ones. And I think with this one, we essentially said, go for it. Do whatever you want. Make it look cool. It's a short story collection, so it would be impossible to fully encapsulate all the stories in the book on the cover. But if you can make the title story come through somehow, that would be amazing. And she said, can I use this sparkly gloss thing? And we said, yeah, sure. So I'd like to say thanks again to Natalie, creative genius who we love working with. She's the master, basically, of this. And I'd also like to say thanks to Karen for writing the book. Obviously, it needs to come from somewhere, and she did a great job on that. And thank you to Claire Kelly, Christine Kohler, and Isabel Yang, our intrepid office staff. And finally, thank you to the Book Publishers Association of Alberta.
Congratulations to designer Natalie Olson of Kiss Cut Design and New West Press. Next up, we have the overall Book Design of the Year Award, presented by Faye Bohr of Folklore Publishing.
The Book Design Award is given to the book with the best overall design, inside and out. Specifically, books are judged based on their creative approach to the execution of design, their ability to link design elements to the intended audience, and production values that exceed industry standards. This year's finalists are, for University of Alberta Press, Knowings and Knots, edited by Natalie Lovelace, designed by Alan Brownoff. New West Press, The Melting Queen by Bruce Cinnamon, designed by Michelle Brana. For Renegade Arts Entertainment, Pass Me By, Gone Fishing by Kyle Simmers and Ryan Danny Owen, designed by Kyle Simmers. The winning title in the book design category was chosen for its complexity and its creativity. The jurors praised the appropriateness of the design to the market, the legible typography, and various elements of detail within the book, such as section dividers and the incorporation of illustrations into the pages. And the winning title is University of Alberta Press, Knowings and Knots, edited by Natalie Lovelace, designed by Alan Brownhoff.
Thank you. The first person I'd like to thank is Natalie Lovelace for being easy to work with. I'd also like to thank Duncan Turner and everybody else at the press for helping put all the pieces together. I'd also like to thank the artists in the book for supplying good quality images. We didn't have to get seconds for anything. And basically, this whole project went together in a very smooth way. So I guess it was a dream project, and I'm very happy to receive the design award. Thank you very much.
Congratulations to designer Alan Brownoff and to University of Alberta Press on another win. Now for the final design award, we have Brian Scrivener of the University of Calgary Press presenting the award for book illustration.
The Book Illustration Award is judged on illustrations including drawings, paintings, photographs, and other artwork, that brilliant interplay of line and color that makes a book not just readable, but memorable. On this year's shortlist, we have, from Freehand Books, Agnes Murderess, written and illustrated by Sarah Levitt. From Renegade Arts Entertainment, Alice at Naptime, written and illustrated by Shay Poole. From Eshia Books, we have Little Women's Lodge Kit by Darlene Auger, illustrated by Chloe Bluebird Mastouche. And finally, from Renegade's Art Entertainment, we have Pass Me By, Gone Fishing by Kyle Simmers and Ryan Danny Owen, illustrated by Kyle Simmers. The winner of the Book Illustration Award was described by the judges as beautiful, high quality, and generally well done. The layout of the illustrations within the book were particularly strong, especially when paired with a powerful color palette and gradient. Congratulations go to, and the winner is from Renegade Arts Entertainment, Pass Me By Gone Fishing by Kyle Simmers and Ryan Danny Owen. Congratulations. Alexander Finbo, Kyle Simmers, and Ryan Owen are with us to accept the award.
Thank you so much. We are delighted to have won this award. Thank you to the members of the jury and to all the readers of the book for supporting a wonderful and important story. And I want to say a big thank you to both Kyle and Ryan for trusting us with such an important book and story. I was delighted when Kyle first mentioned it, and I followed the progress as they were putting it together through Kickstarter. And I was over the moon when we had the chance to come on as an Alberta-based publisher, and we're excited to work with two Alberta creators of such talent. Very pleased to see their book get this recognition.
We're so grateful for this award. We really want to thank everyone who supported us along the way. This is a huge project that wouldn't be possible without all sorts of support from different angles. A huge thank you to our backers and supporters from Kickstarter, our friends, family, mentors, and our amazing community that we have here in this city of Calgary. I also really want to thank our amazing publisher, Renegade, and thank you to the Book Publishers Association of Alberta for celebrating the work of Albertan artists.
Congratulations, Renegade, Kyle Simmers, and Ryan Danny Owen, not only for winning this award, but for being selected as the inaugural title for the Alberta Reads Book Club. Now, before we move into the industry awards, we'd like to take a moment to celebrate a respected and cherished member of the Alberta publishing community. Glenn Rollins will join us again to present the Lifetime Achievement in Publishing Award.
Jerome Martin is a true Renaissance man, professional photographer, gifted storyteller, talented musician, and of course, accomplished publisher. His insatiable curiosity and open mind have made him a well-respected citizen of the world. His selfless dedication and love for people make him a valued colleague and friend. Born in Maple Creek, Saskatchewan, on the edge of the Cypress Hills, Jerome Martin grew up on a farm near Golden Prairie. It was the town of Golden Prairie where he began his career as a documentary photographer at the age of 13, when he volunteered to take photographs of the important buildings in town for a school project celebrating Saskatchewan's Jubilee. Many of these photographs, along with others taken on more recent visits to the town, appear in the 2007 book, Golden Prairie, which Martin also authored and published. After high school, Jerome traveled to Vernon, BC for a brief stint with the armed forces, but soon returned to continue his studies, earning a Master's of Science from the University of Saskatchewan and a PhD in Animal Nutrition from the University of Alberta in Edmonton. While living and working in Edmonton, he had the opportunity to study photography with the legendary Hubert Hone through the Edmonton Art Gallery. Even though photography was not generally regarded as a medium of fine art at the time, Jerome's photographs were chosen to be featured in the gallery's first photography exhibition in 1974. Jerome believes that he remains the only Canadian to receive a PhD in animal nutrition and a Canada Council grant in photography in the same month. Jerome spent several years teaching communication in the Faculty of Agriculture and Forestry and working with the science and publishing sections of the Faculty of Extension at the University of Alberta before joining Alberta Agriculture to travel Alberta, from Medicine Hat to Fort Vermilion, and as far as England and the Caribbean, speaking to farmers in extension meetings and on radio and TV. Once, while with the provincial government, Martin was referred to as a civil servant. He still bristles at that memory, saying that he is no one's servant and certainly not civil. Jerome came to publishing through his fondness for the Great Plains of North America. Recognizing a dearth of material about the Great Plains, he and his partner Merle founded Spotted Cow Press because, in Jerome's words, if no one writes about you, you don't exist. When Jerome and Merle told their family that they were founding a publishing house, daughter Heidi admonished Jerome not to call it something boring like Martin Publishing, and tossed out the name Spotted Cow as they passed by a herd of them at the University of Alberta farm. Since its founding in 1990, Spotted Cow Press has been dedicated to publishing material about the Great Plains, history, poetry, memoir, and photography, but has also tackled titles which Jerome and Merle found interesting or compelling enough to publish anyway, including an internationally successful title on chicken production. Known for the quality of the craft of writing and for holding the best events in the community, Spotted Cow Press is also recognized as an innovator in publishing, the first publisher in Alberta to produce an ebook, the first publisher in Alberta to offer all of its titles in electronic form, and the first company anywhere to publish a trade book exclusively as a print-on-demand title, organizing a simultaneous launch in 2 different cities using 2 revolutionary, for the time, print-on-demand systems. Jerome has been a committed board member and dedicated volunteer of the Book Publishers Association of Alberta for many years. He has produced podcasts on publishing, a timeless trove of publishing wisdom, still shared today on the BPAA website. Jerome has always made available his expertise and judgment as a juror on many Alberta Book Publishing Awards juries. He always gives his best and is an inspiration to the literary world and all its denizens. Known by his colleagues as a true innovator, being the first to Skype, first to get a smartphone, and first to join Twitter, Jerome is always seeking new ways to tell the story while understanding and respecting the traditions of the oldest storytellers. Today we honor Jerome Martin not just for his body of work, but also his philosophy. Storytelling is the most effective way of understanding the world and communicating that understanding to others. Jerome is proud that he always published what he wanted and notes that there are still things I intend to publish. It's a great pleasure for me as a friend and colleague of Jerome's for more than 25 years to present this award to Jerome Martin.
Thank you very much for choosing me for this particular award and for putting together such a wonderful history of what we've done in this area. When I was in high school, I looked at the books that we got from the Department of Education, and they were all published or written or both in Toronto or London or New York. Nobody ever wrote anything about this part of the world, and I considered it rather a flyover area as a result. I said to somebody, if you're not in a book, if your book doesn't focus on the area that you come from, you don't matter. And I think we do. And it was finally at the point where somebody told me about Who Has Seen the Wind from W.O. Mitchell, of course. And when I went to university at Saskatoon, somebody said, well, there's only one bookstore in town, and you might find that book there. And sure enough, at the Saskatoon News Agency, we found the book down in the basement. It was a 1947 first edition of Who Has Seen the Wind. And the first line of that book, if you haven't seen it before, go and find it. The first line in that book says that this is the prairie, and this is important, and so are the people. And when I finally had Mitchell sign that particular copy, he said, where the hell did you get this? I said, I bought it quite a few years ago. I didn't know there were any around. He said, Myrna, come over here. Anyway, if you've had the opportunity of talking to Mitchell years ago, you will know what I'm talking about. But his enthusiasm and the enthusiasm of the Book Publishers Association in this province, the enthusiasm of the authors, the people who have found new ways of marketing books in the last while, really, I think are wonderful, and I think they're only going to get better. So I thank you, and I thank, of course, my wife Merle for being part of this, and we had such a great time working with you, and I continue to enjoy working with you, and I'm so delighted that you've made this award for us, for me. And I really, really, really feel that book publishing in this province, in this country, in this part of the country is going to do better and better and better as we go along. Thank you so much. All the best, and publish till we drop. Thank you very much.
Congratulations, Jerome, and thank you for everything you've done for our community. We now welcome Dr. Leslie Vermeer, professional writer, editor, and reviewer, to present the Lois Hole Award for Editorial Excellence.
The Lois Hole Award for Editorial Excellence is presented to an Alberta book publisher in recognition of outstanding editorial work on books published during the award year. This award is named in honor of Lois Hole for her dedication to books, libraries, literacy, and her respect for editors. Her devotion to the cultural life of our province remains an inspiration to all Albertans. The nominees are Freehand Books, This Has Nothing to Do with You by Lauren Carter, edited by Naomi K. Lewis. Frontenac House Limited, Quartet 2019, Against Forgetting by Keith Garebian, Baddie One Shoe by Natalie Meisner, Common Brown House Moths by Laura Zacharin, Waterline Immersion by Conrad Scott, edited by Micheline Mailer. The two entries for this year's Lois Hole Award for Editorial Excellence were both exceptional undertakings. However, the winner stood out primarily due to the complexity of the project, the variety of poetics involved, and the different career stages of the authors. Part of the strength of the submission is that it involved a diverse package of creations. The editor was able to meet the diverse needs of different poets, doing so with great sensitivity and flexibility. Overall, this submission was seen to be a remarkable achievement that drew on a wide array of editorial skills. And the winner is Frontenac House, Quartet 2019, edited by Micheline Mailer.
I would like to open up by saying thank you so very much to David and Rose, who first took a chance on me at Frontenac House in 2013. Thank you for making poetry publishing in Alberta relevant, wild, and magnificent. Secondly, I would like to thank Neil and Terry for the nomination and for the belief in poetry and me and working with me for the past 7 years. Neil, you're the older brother I never had. Someone to annoy while absolutely adoring. You're my favorite, and I love you very much. Thank you so much for this amazing partnership that we've created. To my authors who have to put up with my requests, my demands, and my idiosyncronicities. And finally, I would like to say a thank you to Lauren Carter and Naomi Lewis, who are also nominated. We're all friends, and we should have been here in ball gowns, swilling champagne, toasting the love of our craft together and in person. Thank you so much, all of you, and thank you very much to the Book Publishers Association of Alberta for their tremendous work in making Alberta books important. Thank you all.
Congratulations, Micheline Mailer, Frontenac House, and the 4 authors of the quartet on this monumental achievement. We'll now have Kelsey Attard of Freehand Books present the Emerging Publisher of the Year Award.
The Emerging Publisher of the Year Award is presented to an emerging Alberta book publishing company which shows promise and dedication to book publishing and who exemplifies the spirit of the Alberta book publishing community. The winning publisher was praised for the physical construction of their books, which were described as having a great design and a luxurious feel. The jurors were particularly impressed by this publisher's skillful use of crowdfunding and social media, which, as a new publisher, has allowed them to identify and make a place for themselves in an underserved market. Congratulations to Red Barn Books, and congratulations to Aisha Clough.
Well, goodness, thank you so much for this award. It means so very much. I never planned on being a publisher, and it's been quite the challenge, to say the least. I'm a news reporter by trade, and I fell into this work because of my 5-year-old son. and the fact that I couldn't find him many books about horses and cowboys. Yeah, those ponies and unicorns just weren't doing it for him. I myself am a first-generation immigrant born in India, and Vancouver was home for almost 20 years. I moved to Alberta in 2013 when I got married, and I kind of came kicking and screaming from beautiful BC to what I thought was going to be the bald prairie. And instead, I fell in love with the beautiful scenery, with the friendly people, and with the Western way of life. I now have 2 horses and a small acreage in Carstairs, and there's lots of books for grown-ups to do with horses, but very little for kids like my son, especially Canadian kidlit. So I'm on a mission to create more Alberta books for kids that celebrate our Western heritage and give kids pride in their prairie roots. Well, little did I know what I was getting into. It's a tough, tough business, as you all know, but so rewarding. And now to receive this recognition from you, it's a real shot in the arm. So thank you from the bottom of my heart, and I hope to meet many of you in the months and the years to come.
Congratulations, Red Barn Books. We're all looking forward to seeing the work you do in the coming years as you move forward in your publishing journey. Now for the final award, celebrating the height of publishing within our province last year, please welcome back Alexander Finbow, publisher of Renegade Arts Entertainment and president of the Book Publishers Association of Alberta, to present the Mel Hertig Publisher of the Year Award.
The Mel Hertig Publisher of the Year Award honours an Alberta publisher who shows outstanding merit in all areas of activity undertaken during the calendar year, and who best exemplifies the spirit of the Alberta book publishing community. The 2 publishers on the shortlist for this award are New West Press and the University of Alberta Press. The Publisher of the Year showed exemplary performance across all of the criteria. Their publications feature elegant designs and compelling stories that are hallmarks of quality books. Additionally, the selection of titles submitted by the winning publisher was commended for its breadth of topics, which truly demonstrate the press's capacity to contribute strong and meaningful content to a variety of different communities and fields of study. Congratulations to University of Alberta Press on being named the 2020 Mel Hertig Publisher of the Year.
Thank you so very much for this wonderful validation of our work. The BPAA is a really special organization run deftly by the amazing Kieran LeBlanc. My gratitude goes out to all of you for this honor, especially our friends a few blocks away at New West Press who are also finalists. Molly of the Mall and The Melting Queen were such great books that I steeled myself for disappointment, so bravo to Matt and the team on a great year. 2019 was a year of big change, challenge, and wonderful rewards at University of Alberta Press. It marked only my 2nd full year at the press and as its director, so in many ways we were still all getting to know each other. 2019 marked the press's 50th anniversary, and we recognized that with a new visual identity, including a new colophone, as well as a refreshed website. We also continued the process of moving our offices, although that was ultimately completed in 2020. We embarked on a project to increase our visibility and had a presence at scholarly conferences in New Zealand, Los Angeles, Montreal, and Vancouver, and also returned to Frankfurt for the first time in a few years. We saw a good deal of staff change in 2019, and I want to thank our departed colleagues Peter Midgley, Baja Koval, and Ren Milmine for all they gave to the press in their time with us. We are also so pleased to welcome new teammates, Matt Bunton, Alicia Snyder, and Michelle Lobkowitz. The press took the lead in the nomination of not 1, but 2 U of A honorary doctorate recipients in 2019, both authors of ours. Congratulations to Alice Major and Essia Jugan for that well-deserved recognition of your brilliant writing. We're nothing without the authors who put their trust in us and allow us to be the stewards of their words and defenders of their intellectual property. I want to thank all of them, past, present, and future. Notably, I want to thank Naomi K. Lewis, whose book Tiny Lights for Travelers was a finalist for the Governor General's Literary Award for Nonfiction in 2019. Another title that shone for us was Power Play, about the politics behind and building of Edmonton's Rogers Place. Power Play is one of tonight's winning titles, so thank you to its authors, Jay Shearer, David Mills, and Linda Sloan McCullough. Thanks to Bill Barr, who edited and introduced the monumental but unfinished autobiography of Arctic explorer John Ray. Congratulations to my colleague Alan Brownoff for his award-winning design of Natalie Lovelace's Knowings and Knots. I also want to thank the authors of books shortlisted tonight, the late Ted Blodgett, author of Apostrophes 8, Nothing Is But You and I, and Therese Greenwood, author of What You Take With You. As some of you know, University of Alberta Press is a unit within the University of Alberta Library, and I want to thank Vice Provost and Chief Librarian Dale Askey, as well as the entire leadership team and staff of the library for their ongoing and strong support of our publishing activities. Thanks as well to our press committee, who make sure all the books we publish are worthy of carrying the University of Alberta name. 2020 may not prove to be a year many of us in publishing will want to celebrate. With the COVID-19 pandemic, we're all seeing diminished sales and a future that looks less than certain. Due to severe provincial budget cuts to the university's budget, the press was forced to say goodbye to two cherished colleagues earlier this year, and I want to recognize them here tonight for all they gave to the press. Mary Lou Roy and Monica Agali, this is your award too. Thank you. And of course, the whole press team, Kathy Crooks, Duncan Turner, Alan Brownoff, Matt Bunton, Michelle Lobkowitz, Alicia Snyder, and Tanvi Mohile. It's an honor to call you my colleagues and to work with you every day. We won this as a team, so congratulations to all of you on your brilliant work. Thank you.
What a stellar celebration. At the beginning of this, our first virtual gala, I mentioned the sense of community that shines within the Book Publishers Association of Alberta. And nothing demonstrates that better than the breadth of your accomplishments celebrated here. We would like to acknowledge our funders whose support of the Book Publishers Association year in and year out. They are the Department of Canadian Heritage, Access Copyright, Canada Council for the Arts, the Government of Alberta through the Departments of Economic Development and Trade and Municipal Affairs, Alberta Culture, Multiculturalism, Status of Women through the Alberta Media Fund, City of Edmonton and the Edmonton Arts Council, City of Calgary and Calgary Arts Development. In addition to our funders, we'd like to recognize the sponsors who've made this year's awards possible, Marquis Book Printing and Friesens.
Thank you so much, Judy, for emceeing tonight, and thank you for all you do to continually support the book publishing community in Alberta. And I would also like to thank the jurors who carefully reviewed and critiqued all of the submissions and chose the shortlists and winners that excelled in each category. It is thanks to their commitment, meticulousness, and expertise that we can confidently say that the works we have recognized tonight represent the best in Alberta book publishing. We acknowledge the traditional homeland of the many diverse First Nations, Métis, and Inuit people whose elders have walked this land before us, and those persons whom we share this great land with today. We are grateful to work and live upon this territory together, and for the means to learn from all of the traditional peoples of these lands. It is our commitment to all First Nations, Métis, and Inuit people that we will continue to work together to build strong and positive relationships, and to consider how we can bring our resources and talents within the book publishing industry to the important work at hand during this era of reconciliation. Finally, I would also like to thank Leslie Bush, as well as the teams at Modern Muse Media and Ampler Media, for their hard work in organising and producing this virtual gala for us. Thank you all for making this event one that we will always remember. On behalf of the BPAA, I wish you all the best until we meet again.
Thank you for watching the 2020 Alberta Book Publishing Awards Gala. Be well and stay safe.